So, hi guys, I'm Artie Smarty Mum. This video's for Remembrance Day weekend, and we're going to do one of my artworks on alternative papers, and we're going to be working on a hexagon tile today. So, but first, what's Remembrance Day? Well, it was on the 11th of November, and it always is. But in the UK, on the Sunday after, or the Sunday after, we always have Remembrance Sunday, which is always a church event, and the Queen herself usually goes to the local church in her region, and all the churches hold remembrance events for the troops lost at war, the troops that are still grieving, and so forth. We also call it Poppy Day, which is why I have a poppy on Armistice Day, and in other countries such as America, the 11th is also known as things like Veterans Day. Now, our poppies, we have certain rules for our poppies. You wear what the technical rules are. You always wear them on the left hand side of your heart, and you always have this little leaf. Just checking I've done it the right way around now. There's that facing. No, it's not facing the right way around. Is that? No. 11 o'clock. So yes, it is the right way around, isn't it? Always facing 11 o'clock. So it's the wrong way around. I'm too tired. It's been a long couple of days. It's been my son's 7th birthday, and yeah, people with chronic illnesses. Yeah, it's very, very tiring. But we've had loads of fun. But these aren't hard and fast rules, so you won't have anyone coming for you if you do it the wrong way around. It's the 11th. The 11s are simply, it's a way to remember that the guns went silent on the 11th day, the 11th minute, the 11th hour of the 11th day was when the guns went silent in World War I. And it's remembered over poppy fields because that's where there was one of the most major battles, and instead of seeing the blood on the fields, poppies were said to grow on the field very soon after, and it was a beautiful way to remember those that lost their lives there. So I'm going to do a piece of work of people that fought in those times, and I wanted to do one of the women as well as the men. The women were obviously the Women's Land Army here in the UK, so I'm going to see you on the flip side as we start doing some of the drawing. I'll talk you a little bit through what I'm doing, not loads today. I'm a little tired to do that, but a little bit, and we'll go from there. So see you on the flip side, guys. Right guys, this is the hexagon tile I was talking about. They were actually given to me to paint on by my best friend, and I'm going straight over to one that I've already done a lot of the painting on, which I'm going to cover first with white paint, because otherwise these are really hard to work with. I've worked with one before, and if they don't have a base layer, they just don't seem to take paint very well. I've also changed my poppy around the right way around. I was wrong, and this is how tired I really am. This kind of thing, events like this, they just absolutely take their toll on people with chronic illnesses. You would not actually understand unless you have one, but if you do know someone, just take that into account. The gloves I'm wearing, by the way, just in case you're wondering, they're arthritis gloves. They actually help compress my hands a little bit, so they actually help deal with the pain. So when you're having a bad few days, they can make it a little bit easier. So yeah, this is just simply covering it and making it a little bit easier for me to work on. Right guys, so if any of you guys want to try what I'm doing next, you need a fan brush, and you want the white slightly wet still, not actually just tacky, and only the lightest bit of red on to the end of your fan brush, so it's more of a dry brush style technique. And I'm pretty much trying to get a marbling of red across here, just to give a kind of nice effect for a background. So sometimes when you're using things like tiles, or anyway you're making a background for it, it's just nice to have some kind of background effect. So yeah, this is just simply covering it and making it a little bit easier for me to work on. Right guys, so if any of you guys want to try what I'm doing next, you need a fan brush, and you want the white slightly wet still, not actually just tacky, and only the lightest bit of red on to the end of your fan brush, so it's more of a dry brush style technique. And I'm pretty much trying to get a marbling of red across here, just to give a kind of nice effect for a background. So sometimes when you're using things like tiles, or anyway you're making a background for it, it's just nice to have some kind of background effect. and you'll see it starts to mix together and just makes these nice little streaks that go up and down, and you get these lovely wavy patterns, and you just work them in until you've got the amount you're comfortable with. And it obviously doesn't have to be red. I'm using red because it's Remembrance Day and it's one of the core colours. You could do this with any colour schemes. If you were working with like water and you wanted to, you could put white blues and yellows, blues, darker blues in and so forth. Tired person. But as you see, it just makes you a nice, quick, easy background that's beautiful to work with afterwards. And before you obviously start doing the main work after doing this, you need to let it dry, because I'm going to be sketching on the figures I want to work with. But yeah, this is just nice and easy. So there you go. This is a point in any project you can draw your sketch on. I would advise to do so. Now, it's obviously not always going to be able to sketch or transfer or trace or whatever, but if you can, do so. Now, this didn't seem to like me actually doing all the rough sketches onto it, but it definitely was worth a try. So I made marker points first for where I wanted head, shoulders and so forth to lie. It's actually really useful because you can end up running out of space otherwise. So if you work out where you want the rough body dimensions to fall, it actually makes it a lot easier. When I've done pictures before and I haven't marked it off, I've ended up running out of space to put the feet on, or I've ended up running out of space when I've wanted to make a picture like with 5 people on and the 5th person just hasn't quite fitted on. So if you want to do something like this at the very beginning, just work out where you're going. Now you can see my hand, I'm trying to work out here what I wanted to actually do and what figures I wanted to use and work with. And probably, knowing me, trying to find a World War I person. Now, as I said, I was working with World War I characters, World War I costumes. I'm working with the woman from the Land Army, which in the UK was basically when, as they did in many countries, all the men went to war, all the jobs left behind, which ran the entire country, the industry, they still needed doing. And the Land Army were pretty much the people that still worked the lands and kept the industry going, and it wasn't anything women had ever done before back in the 1900s, and it was extremely important to the country. So these women became, well, they became something more than they'd ever been. They were used to being housewives, they weren't used to being farmers, they weren't used to being women of running the banks. So yeah, it was such a big change, and it was part of what led to the changes women have and do what we do today. So I thought it would be poignant to remember them alongside the men that, well, obviously fought. They all fought in their own way and lost in their own way too. So I'll let you watch this drawing. Right, this kind of colour takes mixing, which can be quite tricky. One of the best advices I've got for you is getting hold of a colour wheel, really cheap off Amazon, really help you find and get used to mixing colours. I can do a video of actually using one to find the right colours and working for them at some point if anyone's interested. But these guys here, their uniform, it's not a commonly used colour. Well, by me, it's not commonly used colour. It is probably by other people. So, yeah, my husband's nodding. People that paint military kits and paint war models, and something that he knows many war gamers do, because he used to work in a store that did that. Obviously, that colour is very popular to them. I just paint lots of other kinds of scenes. So for me, it's not a very common colour. But yeah, once you get your colours, start with your core base colours on something like this, and then go from there. As you can see, I haven't outlined this piece right yet. It's because I wanted to go, I'm only going to go over those lines anyway if I was to do so. This is a piece where I would do so, but only because of the scale of it. If I went much bigger, I wouldn't actually be adding outlines on it because I would be going for natural lighting and shading. Now, obviously, this is a piece, as I said, it's of remembrance. It's actually going to be going to St James's Church this Remembrance Sunday with all my other art and remembrance rocks for the big poppy drop as part of Love and the Rocks UK at St James's Church over in Huddersfield, as it did last year. And I do this I've done this for the last 3 years now, and it's part, as I said, it's part of the remembrance that bit of, well, can't get words out, this is part of being tired. It's part of the big poppy drop from the Love and the Rocks UK. So many of us have done this and have taken part in this activity, and it's something I'm very honoured to be part of. And if you go over to my Instagram, you'll see I've written stories behind a lot of the rocks, not just discussing remembering those that I've lost, but I've discussed PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and we've discussed things like LGBT rights within the military. And there's art that's not just on rocks as well. So if you're interested in that kind of story, please do go pop over onto my Instagram and go have a look. There also will be a picture going up tomorrow of the rocks when they've been put out and about over at the church, so that'll be kind of cool to share with you guys. I'm going to let you watch the end of this painting. I'll come say hi to you at the end. Let me know what you think of it, if you like it. But all the rest of the advice I can say for you when you're painting and filling something in like this is just take your time, use a fine brush, and you just take your time. You've got your outlines drawn out, and yeah, have a bit of fun with it. Don't expect everything to be perfect as you're learning. It'll get better every time you do it. You'll get better and you'll improve. This obviously hasn't been the most tutorial style piece. This has been about remembering our troops, and obviously there will be other videos where I'll teach you a bit more about how to draw this style of person if you're interested in that too. So yeah, see you at the end of the video. Right guys, so these poppies here, they really fun little addition I added. Once I'd finished obviously making these characters, I thought there was just a little bit of something that needed to be added. So I got a glitter pen. Well, what can a little glitter not do? And they just added a little bit of je ne sais quoi to the piece. And yeah, I think it's a Posca one, it might be Tuliat. Not 100% certain, I couldn't see, not paying enough attention. But either which way, both good. And they just add a little bit of something more to that background. And then obviously you've got your poppies. Now I know, not perfect, not the right amount of petals and yeah, but look beautiful nonetheless. I've had botanists come to me before, seriously, for not getting the pelt work right. petal number right. So, but this is about remembrance, not coming from a number of petals on a piece like this. So please remember that. And also you'll notice the buttons are done in a lovely gold. I used cannot remember. My husband got them for me and I can't remember the name of them. I will put it in the description so you can find the name, but they're really nice brand and really good for finishing details. If you like this video though, please do like the video, subscribe, and yeah, hit that bell as well. Whatever all the detail-y thing is, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.